Okay, so just really quickly, I want to show off just a little bit about how Kira Lewis gets open and what he does a lot of the times before he takes a three-point shot. So he knows where he is on the court, and what I mean by that is, let me show you. So first off, he is spacing the floor. This is very important. We have a player who's cutting towards the rim when Zion is attacking. Not the brightest of moves, but that's okay. We have Kira Lewis Jr. who is absolutely wide open. And of course, Zion's able to notice that. Zion's actually a pretty good passer. And what do we see here? Well, when he sees that he's about to get that ball passed to him, he steps back with his left foot because he knows that he is on top of the three-point line, and he obviously doesn't want to shoot a bad shot, which is being right on the three-point line and not being a few inches back. So he's getting ready to take his shot. Now he catches it. The way he catches it is right into his spot, and what I mean by that is everyone has their own spots that they like to pick up the ball, essentially. And of course, he gets ready, and of course, when he takes that step back, he's already looking to shoot that ball. He's not thinking, let's drive or pass. He's automatically thinking, hey, I got the space, I need to take that shot. This is very important. You need to get into your shooting form. You need to get your balance before you're taking your shot. Now, what do we see? Of course, we're going to have a very good close-up later on about his shot, but really quickly, what do we see? We bring that ball from the right side over towards the middle of his body, and that's his gather, and then he brings it up to his set point. Now, he has his shoulders what look to be over his knees, over his toes in this clip, and he is looking at the rim. He is looking at the rim, in fact, the whole time. As soon as he knows that he's about to catch that ball, right about there, he's starting to look up, and now he's getting into his shot. Now he's got a nice fluid shot. He's able to get down into his gather as soon as he picks up that ball, which means that he's already getting into his position to bend his knees to go up for his shot. Now, when he does take his shot, he does finish with his elbow above his eyes, and he has a nice follow through. When he does jump for his shot, he lands roughly right about where he took off, which is great. That means it's a nice up and down shot, and of course this ball does go in. Now, this is a nice close-up. Of course, this is just a quick workout that he did, but, of course, we want to be able to break down his shots. So, of course, when he steps into his shot, he likes to be nice and balanced, which is good. We have his shoulders over his knees, over his toes. That's almost a perfectly straight line. He has his butt out. Now, what this is going to do for him is it's going to allow him to be in a Z, which is essentially going to give him the power to get up off the ground. Now, something that we do see here is that he is on his toes. What this does for him is the calf muscles right there. Those are some of your fast twitch muscles. This is very important when you're going to take your shot. And, of course, that's like the torque in your car. It's going to be able to get you off the ground faster. Now, the muscles up here are going to allow you, in this part of your body, are going to allow you to get up higher. So think of these as your torque, and up top, your thighs, that kind of thing, is kind of your power. Like your horsepower in a car in a sense. Now, he brings that ball up the middle of his body, and now, when does he bend his elbow? We're going to try and figure that out roughly right about there. Just before he gets into his set point, he bends his elbow slightly, just a bit, maybe 4 degrees at most. What does this do for him? Well, the less bending of that elbow, when he brings it from here up into his set point, what that's going to do is the least amount of bending. It means that if he starts getting into a cold streak, there's less things to try and fix. Because if you're getting into a cold streak, usually you're doing one thing wrong. Now, when he goes up for his shot, his set point seems to be roughly right in front of his right eye, especially from other angles. We do see this as well. He's got nice power transfer up into his shot. He extends his knees as soon as he leaves that ground. That's essentially what you want to do. You don't want to have any wasted energy. And then, when he does shoot, he does finish 45 degrees. Anything higher than that is going to get him more arc, which is going to allow that ball to theoretically bounce in a little bit more. When he is into his set point, however, what I do like to see is that 90-degree angle on his elbow. Why is this important? Well, a 90-degree angle on the elbow means that he's going to have a faster release than some of the players who have a 45 or more degree angle on their elbow. Now, this is important if you've got a lot of players closing out on you, so I would say when he starts getting more time in the NBA, he's going to have a very fast release, and defenders are going to have to keep that in mind. But what this is also giving him is less power, so he may not be able to stretch it like Damian Lillard type of range or Trae Young's type of range unless he gets a lot of lower power or lower body strength. That's all what this means. But at the same time, I would rather have a quick release from here than a slower release from there. Now, when we do get a step back from him, what we do see is when he does do a step back, he tends to bring his elbow a little bit farther back. And he is still pretty consistent with that shot, as we can see here. So what this tells me is he's got two different set points that he could use. One for a step back or farther back in range, or when he's shooting from there to start or roughly around there to start, what you will see is a more set shot off of closer ranges. He does tend to flick with his middle finger, and we also do notice that his thumb has nothing to do with the ball. So he's not a thumb flicker like Kyrie Irving or Steph Curry. So that means that his elbow is most likely perfectly right underneath that ball. And when we do go back to this clip here, we do notice that his elbow is pretty well underneath that ball, which is going to be good. That's going to allow him to have a straight shot from right to left, but also we do notice that the elbow is in line with his shoulder, which is going to give him a straight shot as well. There's a few things that you want to have in line. You want to have that ball, elbow, and shoulder in line to the net. I hope that this Kira Lewis breakdown of his shooting form helps you become a better basketball player. If it does, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.